People have asked me about my stance on unions. And in fact, they've said things like I'm anti-union or I'm trying to end pensions. That's embarrassing that they would even say that. You should be ashamed of yourself for even saying that. I have said more than once that unions are literally part of our First Amendment. They are freedom of speech plus freedom of association. You have a right for collective bargaining. Who else in this campaign says that? His Majesty King Andrew, who continues to crap all over unions all day long? Or the Republican, who ignores you constantly? Yet the leadership of the unions consistently ignores me and decides to support one of them. They're part of the establishment. They are screwing you over. I'm the one saying I support unions. I'm the only one who's saying I will give the corrections officers who haven't had a contract in almost 3 years, I will give them a contract within 90 days, and I will forget or ignore the punishment clause, which is screwing them over for years. They're taking zeros. They're taking zeros for years, and they're ignoring me. I would ask you as a union worker, union member, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? Not just that. Pensions. Someone actually said, Larry's trying to get rid of our pensions. In case you haven't figured this out, I've been talking about the pension bomb for months, 8, 9, 10 months. There is a pension bomb right now that is going to trash every union worker in this, every state union worker in this state, going to be gone in about 10 years. Now you might think, Larry, that's not true. The funds are great. I'm going to put in this video, I'm actually going to put the actual links to a Frontline article and a Stoss article talking about how the unions are about to be broken. The pensions are about to fail. It's already happening in Kentucky. It's going to happen in this state. But here's the problem. It's not going to happen for about 8, 10 years. So the candidates now, they don't care about that because they won't be here. I will. I'm the guy saying I will make sure that we keep our retirement. I'm the one saying I will negotiate openly and transparently with every single union to make sure that 10 years from now, the pensions don't blow up and go away. Well, Larry, they can't go away because the Constitution says they have to. Yeah, the Constitution said that too when it came to Puerto Rico, Detroit, Dallas, Kentucky, and they're all failing or have failed. That's the future if we don't stop it. If New York State, if their pension bomb goes off, this state becomes Somalia overnight. I won't let that happen. They don't seem to care. If you're a union worker and you care about your pension, the only guy who's talking about that is the guy you're looking at right now. No one else is. So when you get into that polling booth on Tuesday, think to yourself, who's talking about unions? Who said it's in our Constitution? Me or some other guy who's ignoring you? Or some other guy who your union says you should vote for? Think about it from yourself. Who's talking about it? I am. When it comes to pensions, people say, well, Larry, the pensions are fine because the pension fund is fine. The pension fund is one thing, and most pensions are doing well when it comes to the fund. But it's being fed by our tax dollars. So as tax dollars keep feeding it, of course it's doing well. But what happens when tax dollars aren't feeding it anymore? What happens when it becomes too big of a part of our budget, of our $170 billion budget? 15, 20, 30, 40%. Then what happens? This feeding goes away. This will begin to collapse. That's why it will take 8 to 10 years because of that. But here's the worst part. If all these taxpayers are paying for the pension and all the people in New York State begin leaving, what's going to happen? There's going to be an anti-union backlash. I don't want that either. An anti-union backlash, because I'm paying taxes for these union guys. You see it already. You see as people take their pension and leave and go to North Carolina, Florida, Arizona. We're sending checks to other states. Other New Yorkers aren't liking it. There's going to be a backlash against unions. I'm the only guy talking about saving them. It's only me. So when someone tells you, Larry Sharpe's anti-union, ask them, has their guy talked about how it's in our Constitution? When someone says Larry Sharpe's anti-pension, ask them, has their guy talked about the pension bomb that's going to trash our unions and trash our pension? Would it be like Kentucky when a governor comes up and says, take whatever I tell you to take or you don't get a pension? That's what's happening now. That's us in 10 years. I'm the guy talking about unions. I'm the guy talking about pensions. When you're in that polling station Tuesday, you better think to yourself, which guy supports you?